All right, next up, we go to Wednesday, where we have Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo. Buffalo, 2-point home favorites, 39.5 the total in this game. I voiced my disgust, my anger, my frustration with this many times on this show, especially when it comes to college sports, college football, college basketball. It is asinine that the NCAA tries to make it sound like, hey, we're opening our arms to the betting community and all these, deals you see with FanDuel and DraftKings and all this stuff, and it's talked about everywhere. And you can't make absences, and whether it's suspensions or injuries, or in this case, someone leaving a football team, you can't make that announcement and knowledge known for the people ahead of time and not drop it on everybody, 30 minutes before kickoff?
Yeah, right before kickoff. Yeah.
And here I am with a big bet on Miami, Ohio last week against Toledo, and I find out DeQuan Finn has taken his ball and gone home, and he's a fucking idiot for doing it, and a horrible teammate, a horrible program guy for doing it.
Yeah.
He's a horrible guy for doing it. Your team could still win the MAC. You could still win this conference, and I'm not going to play again the rest of the season, and I'm leaving the program. I'm leaving the team to prepare for the NFL draft. Really? You're going to be lucky to be drafted, man. Who the hell's going to take you? You're going to be fortunate to be sitting there in the 7th round still available. You're no big-time NFL prospect. Are you shitting me? I've watched you play all these years, DeQuan Finn. You can't throw the football accurately half the time. What the hell makes you think you're going to be some big-time NFL guy that I'm going to walk away from a team that could win their conference and play for something special? I can't believe the gall, quite honestly, of DeQuan Finn to do this. I can't believe it. Forget my bet. Who the fuck cares about Ian Cameron's money? I'm talking about him and what he did to his football program and his coach, Chuck Martin, what he did to his teammates. He let them all down. Because he's selfish. Selfish. That's what he is. He's established that.
Why the fuck did he play this year then? This guy's got 3 weeks to go.
It does.
Like, to prepare for the draft. And that was a bunch of bullshit when it came out, Babana.
Draft. You're going to be lucky to get picked in the 7th round. You're no big-time prospect. You're not going to have an NFL future. You're not going to be good enough to make it in the NFL. Period.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of you. You're not good enough. And you're going to do this to your football team? That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
That's simple.
I know. Well, I'm glad that's came out, because remember when this happens right before kickoff, it's like, oh, he's got an undisclosed injury, but he's not playing. Just a bullshit lie.
Undisclosed selfishness.
Yeah, it was really that. Yeah,
that's what it is. I can't believe he did that to his football team in a season where they could still win the conference. I don't know when he made this decision. It sounded like it was not too far removed from that Toledo game last week. And then all of a sudden, of course, because he's left the program, and what are you going to do? He's an adult. If you're Chuck Martin in the Miami O program, you can't handcuff him and say, hey, and he's not under contract. You can't do anything. If he wants to leave the program, he's gonna. But then all of a sudden, obviously everything changes, and I don't want to rip him too much because it was probably a bad situation. But obviously, unexpectedly, the next quarterback in line, quarterback 2, Henry Hessen, has to start in that game for Miami. And oh my God, I'm still having headaches watching that guy play last week. He was abysmal. I can't even stress enough how bad that he performed last week. 11 for 38 completion rate. 11 for 38. 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. I knew the moment that game started and he couldn't do anything and he couldn't get a first down. He's throwing interceptions. I said, this bet's done. See you later, Miami O plus the points. We got no shot. None. 0. And, of course, Toledo ended up running away with it. Wasn't even competitive. And Toledo ended up winning that game 24-3. Now, obviously, look, that guy was horrible last week, Hessen. He will get a week of practice now. He probably can only get better. I don't even care. I've seen enough. He was that bad. I don't see him going into Buffalo leading this offense and winning. And who the hell knows where the mentality of this program is right now? You just had your quarterback that's actually played okay for you at times this season, DeQuan Finn, just basically take his ball and go home and basically leave you high and dry, in a season where you could still win this conference. And they still can. They're in that mix with the 4-2 teams in conference play. One of those is Buffalo, by the way, who are still in the mix too to maybe get in that MAC championship game. Buffalo, though, what are you going to get from them? 38-19 loss to Central Michigan last week. Roberson, he can't throw the football worth a lick too. That's why he's on his 8th program, or it feels like it, in college football. You had Gunnar Gray take over. There's questions about where Pete Lembo is going to turn at quarterback, although it looks like he's going to stick with Roberson. I'm still taking Buffalo here at home, laying less than a field goal. It's also been a home-dominated series history. Look at every recent Miami, Ohio, Buffalo game. The home team has won pretty much 6 straight between these two teams. So I'll be on Buffalo here, anything less than a field goal. And I'll probably just take money line. You can get the money line on Buffalo here at minus 125 in this one. He's that bad, Henry Hessen. And sure, he's going to have a week of practice. I get it. But on the road, trusting that guy to play good at the quarterback spot after what I saw last week. Toledo's defense is not spectacular, and he could not even function.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
They're deep for the MAC.
Function.
One of the better defenses I think they've had in the last few years.
It's solid defense, but still, he was bad. That was not all Toledo's defense being great. He was horrific. And I think on the road, he's going to struggle here too. So I like Buffalo. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you like Buffalo, just take the money line here. Don't mess around. Because the only way, as good as some of the numbers with Buffalo and their defense, which I don't know how Miami scores, is Miami, Ohio's defense has to keep them in this game. It has to be just low scoring, maybe special teams, have a big day there. That was kind of running through. I got to dig deeper on their special teams. Because Hessen, I don't see how he's going to really do anything in this game at all. So they got to hang their hat on that and to keep this game just low scoring, which just leads me more a little bit to this under. So, yeah, this is going to be difficult. I think Buffalo,
Buffalo's been pretty good lately, too, off a loss. Like, that's the one thing, Buffalo's a crazy schizophrenic team. But they've responded the last couple times. They haven't had a good game. So hoping that's the case here.
I don't know if it's easy, but the quarterback play, they could eke this out.
Yeah.
Tight win. You know what I mean? 2017 or even, type game, I think.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Like I said, I like Buffalo. I just don't, this whole situation does not feel right, smell right for Miami, Ohio. I mean, they've got to be they must be thinking, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
This guy's just leaving us. We could still win our conference, still win a MAC championship, and this guy's going to just quit on us and go to the draft when he may not even get drafted because he stinks and he's not going to be any sort of big-time quarterback in the NFL. That's like me saying, you know what, Connor Mack, no hitting the book show today. I got to leave to prepare to be a pro golfer when I know in a million years I'm not going to be any sort of good golfer at the professional level. Why don't I just do that since we're in the habit of doing this? What a bunch of that's some of the biggest nonsense I've ever seen. That this guy's quitting for the NFL draft. He's not even good enough probably to be drafted. Maybe the 7th round. Maybe if he's lucky, someone's going to take it.
The biggest thing too is it's not just like it was in September. It's in the biggest game against his ex team on a huge spotlight game. It wasn't just
you started your career there, dummy.
Yeah, that's what made it just like, wow, what's going on?
I couldn't believe it.
For sure.
I couldn't believe it. That's the problem here. Certain people, like, they have no idea what it's like to be a good team guy anymore. And that's being as bad a team guy as you could possibly be right there.
It's, what's weird? It kind of could go both ways. Now that most of these guys, as long as you're starting and stuff, you get paid, of course, within all that money. But the other way, it could make you a good teammate, or you just don't give a shit. And there's always good teammates and bad teammates, and now the money's involved. I think you'd see it a little bit more.
Ridiculous
diva mentality.
Sickening, terrible. Feel bad for Chuck Martin. Feel bad for those Redhawks players. They don't deserve that.